Gom Calidus, sovereign territory of the Arcanide Crystal Empire. The 13th moon of the planet Gom has been under quarantine for ages.
Doesn't look like I'll get any further with this shuttle. I can only hope that this is really Gom Calidus. This plasma converter is from one of the glider's propulsion units. It still contains a high residual voltage. It seems to have been torn off the system before it could discharge. A sleeve for focusing plasma jets. It's probably from the fusion reactor, the stuff that's lying around here. The water canister was damaged in the crash. It'd be a shame if that precious fluid just trickled away into the ground. Not that I'm dying of thirst, but the air's so dry here. Great. The only tool from the glider's inventory that I can find is a primitive crowbar. Featureless waste wherever one looks. What a bleak planet. This moon is actually too inhospitable to be habitable. It does have an atmosphere, but there's almost no water. I wonder what these absurd plants here live on. There's neither water nor enough light here. Greasy, foul-smelling affair. Why should I take something like that with me? Everything here is just dry and dirty. I need to make sure I get away from here quickly. I wonder what these absurd plants here live on. There's neither water nor enough light here. That's the gigantic mine that was mentioned in the exhibition. Elmo Dater. I've never seen anything like it before. Those don't look like Arcanide structures by any stretch of the imagination. What a chaotic design. It says Elmo Dater Mining Area, Gom Calidus Moon, Quarantine Area. From this point, the executive authority of the Divine Empire suspended and can no longer ensure compliance with law and order pursuant to... Bully warned me. But if the whole moon has been quarantined, an epidemic must have broken out here. The mine has eaten its way further and further into the moon, attached to these steel hulks. But who devised this monstrous structure? Looks like this vehicle is the only way to reach the Elmo Dater level. As there's enough gravity on this moon, the down should be doable somehow. If I can make this wreck operational again, it could be a pretty breakneck affair. This lift seems to be a kind of plasmatron evacutainer system, and this is the plasma generator. I hope there's enough heavy gas inside. I might be able to activate it using a targeted energy impulse that would allow the lift to be moved, at least for a short time. Okay, if I bend this flange here and push the sleeve's lower edge over the converter's exhaust port. Okay, now I feed the bipolar energy supply in there, and I get a kind of plasma jet. It's very improvised and won't last very long either, but it'll fulfill its purpose for now. This is going to be a tricky one. First, I'll have to open the maintenance compartment of the firing chamber, then insert my plasma jet into the opening. That should more or less fit. Now, I'll power up the emitter briefly. Well, what do you know? With a little imagination, determination, and a lot of luck, anyone can get a plasma generator to work. I have no idea how long the energy will last. I'd better make sure I get down there. Not really compatible. If I stick the crowbar in there, I get a lever I can use to operate the mechanism. Well, smooth it isn't. I'd need fat or grease to make it run a little better. Who would have thought this old canister would come in handy? But it's just right for transporting this stuff. I can scrape a lot off the stone using the opening, and that should definitely be enough. I'd need fat or grease to make it run a little more smoothly. If I carefully dribble this stuff onto the shaft, it should produce a kind of lubrication that will allow the thing to be moved more easily. Looks like it could work. This is pretty risky, but hopefully it won't be worse than the landing earlier. Right then, let's go. Wow, what a ride. But I'm still alive. Who would have thought? I can't imagine that the region of the League of Free Terrans is a welcome visitor here. Colonial Terrans probably aren't very popular here either, but at least no one will recognize me.